Number 10. Anaconda Monster. While the BBC film crew was filming a new series called Tribe in the Amazon jungle, they stumbled upon something horrific. Of course, pretty much everything in the Amazon can kill you, and the team knew the risks they were taking. But they still weren't ready to meet a giant snake measuring over 17 feet or 5 meters in length. This is one of the strangest and most terrifying monsters ever caught in the Amazon. The enormous, slithering creature is believed to be one of the biggest ever captured. The snake was part of a catch and release program to help scientists better understand what's going on with the Amazon's largest predator in the midst of deforestation and oil exploration. The serpent was tracked down with help from the secluded Guarani tribe in Ecuador. This ancient tribe still lives in the rainforest and survives by catching wild pigs and monkeys with blowpipes and sharp sticks. They're also quite proficient in catching river monsters. Luckily for everyone involved, the snake was captured and released, and nobody was injured during the event. Though the Guarani did say that the anaconda is one of the deadliest and most dangerous creatures in the entire jungle. Typical anacondas can weigh over 500 pounds or 227 kilograms. The team took pictures for the record, but needed 4 men just to lift the snake. Number 9. The deadly piranha. One of the strangest and most dangerous creatures in the Amazon is actually a fish, believe it or not. Of course, I'm talking about the vicious piranha. While animals like the anaconda get all the attention for being voracious killers, snakes don't actually attack that many people in the Amazon, while piranhas are responsible for hundreds of reported attacks per year, according to Forbes magazine, and potentially thousands of attacks that go unreported. The piranha is a fish that is categorized by its razor-sharp teeth that can bite through nearly any living thing. They usually swim in swarms, and so when they eat, they will come together to literally pick the bones clean, regardless of what has fallen into the water, thus making them one of the most aggressive and merciless things on Earth. Piranhas prefer to go after prey that is already weak, and that way they can't resist the swarm descending on them and killing them. It should also be noted that there isn't a single species of piranha. There are actually several within the Amazon. This is important because not all piranha species are full-on meat eaters. Some are herbivores, some are omnivores, and yes, some are meat eaters purely, like the red-bellied piranha, which are the most dangerous of them all. One of the biggest dangers with fishing in the Amazon is accidentally hooking a piranha on the end of your line and trying to get it off, at which point you could lose a finger. Of course, a piranha won't bite your face off, but if you get into a tangle with one, even out of the water, you could at least lose some small piece of your hand. That being said, fishing and catching piranhas is a lot like fishing and catching any other fish, except you're in the deadly Amazon. Number 8. Creepy alien fish. While on a fishing trip in the Colombian Amazon, a number of tourists caught what has been described as the ugliest fish ever reeled in. Nobody could believe it when one of the tourists captured a strange, white fish that honestly looked like it came from an alien planet. The fishy monster could not be identified right away. Everyone looking at it had no idea what their eyes were seeing. It was totally unlike anything the fishermen had ever encountered before. They didn't even know if they should touch it, because it looked as if it had pointy fins that could be filled with poison. Probably a safe bet. In the end, the tourists threw it back in the river because it was so terrifying, and there wasn't much they could do with it. It wasn't until later that they found out that it was a type of pleco fish, albeit a very rare pleco fish because of its white coloring. It may have been an albino, which is why it looks so bizarre. Plecos are armored catfish native to the Amazon. They can be found all throughout the rivers and channels of the jungle and are known for being wildly aggressive. They're usually not very big, only about 2 feet, but the one caught by the tourists was a certifiable giant at over 3 feet or almost 1 meter long. What would you do if you caught an alien fish like this? Let me know in the comment section below, and if you're liking this video, be sure to hit the thumbs up and subscribe buttons if you haven't already. Number 7. The most powerful eel. In shocking news, no pun intended, Scientists have caught two of the world's most electrifying electric eels in the Amazon. Until recently, scientists didn't know there were other species of electric eel. They assumed there was just one, which had a record of producing up to 650 volts. This newest eel, called the Electrophorus voltae, is able to produce an incredible 860 volts, enough to seriously cripple a person and cause them to drown. The newest discovery just goes to show how diverse the rainforest really is and how much scientists still don't understand. Research was done by David DeSanta with the Smithsonian National Museum of Natural History. Researchers had to collect 107 samples from electric eels throughout the Amazon to properly differentiate the species. Oh, and a super fun fact, electric eels are not actually eels, they are fish. They generate electricity by using specialized organs, usually to defend themselves or to incapacitate prey. If you happen to meet one of these electric eels in the Amazon, you better get out of the water before it zaps you, constricting your muscles and causing you to float helplessly to the bottom, where you might just end up getting eaten by piranhas. Number 6. Jau catfish. One of the truest monsters of the Amazon is the legendary Jau catfish. This thing is an absolute beast and can grow to be a very real giant in the water. On a recent fishing expedition to the Amazon in Bolivia, an angler named Martin caught a Jau catfish weighing over 170 pounds. That's heavier than most people and would take a small group of fishermen just to haul into the boat. The Amazon guide said that after 200 fishing trips along the river, this was the biggest Jau catfish he had ever seen, and was around 60 pounds or 27 kilograms heavier than previous world records. But, believe it or not, the Jau catfish is only one of many catfish found throughout the rivers of the Amazon. The biggest one is the piranha catfish, with some reports claiming it can grow to be upwards of 400 pounds. That's a catfish so big that it could theoretically eat a person, or at least a child if given the opportunity. These are not easy fish to catch and have insane strength, like Japanese sumo wrestlers. Okay, that's an odd comparison, but you get it. Think about trying to pull a sumo into your boat using a fishing line. Is that even possible? Number 5. Mythical pink dolphins. Okay, this one isn't actually a strange catch. It would just be strange and wrong if someone ever did try to catch it. There is one animal roaming the Amazon River more mystical and elusive than any other, and almost never seen by humans. It's called the Amazon pink river dolphin, and it's notoriously difficult to catch sight of. It also looks quite different from most dolphins you're familiar with. Instead of gray skin, it has pink skin. It also has an odd, prolonged snout. These dolphins are really toothed whales, growing up to nearly 10 feet or 3 meters long and weighing roughly 350 pounds or 160 kilograms. They also live for up to 30 years. Why do these dolphins have pink skin? Interestingly enough, they're actually born gray and then they turn pink and blotchy as they reach adulthood, with males turning the pinkest. Pink river dolphins also have the biggest brains of any other dolphin. And unlike dolphins from other parts of the world, these ones aren't hunted. They're considered mythical throughout parts of South America, with locals having a deep respect for them. You'll never catch someone trying to hook a river dolphin. It's considered seriously bad luck. Number 4. Amazon vampires. The piranha, also known as the vampire fish, is one of the deadliest catches a person can make in the Amazon. It's wildly popular with tourists who visit Colombia to fish the rarest and most intriguing river predators. The piranha is a type of dog-toothed tetra, though far larger and more vicious than the fish you'll find at your local pet store. The vampire fish also goes by the nicknames saber-toothed tigerfish and water wolf. It will literally gobble up piranhas for breakfast. They live in the fastest and wildest parts of the rivers where they're extremely tough to catch, making them a real challenge for even expert anglers. They're also super aggressive and really fast. They are notorious for continuously hunting and ripping bait off the ends of fishing lines. The average piranha can grow up to 3 feet with a pair of spiked fangs that curve out of its lower jaw like an upside-down vampire. According to the International Game Fish Association, the biggest piranha ever caught was in Venezuela back in 1996, weighing nearly 40 pounds or 18 kilograms. And considering these are basically extra-sized piranhas, 40 pounds, 18 kilograms is a truly monstrous fish. Number 3. The deadly Arapima. The Arapima is a huge, savage, hungry, and truly fierce fish living in the Amazon. It's known for having such unfettered power that it can headbutt somebody so hard that their heart stops, though this isn't something that happens all that often. The Arapima grows upwards of 400 pounds with a total length of around 10 feet or a little over 3 meters. And while the Arapima is a true Amazonian legend, it was recently spotted far from its home in Florida, of all places. A giant Arapima was caught in the Caloosahatchee River, shocking local fishing guides and spurring panic. According to fishing captain Mike Smith from North Fort Myers, there are almost certainly more lurking about. It's doubtful that only one Arapima found its way to Florida all the way from South America. And for that matter, just how did such a dangerous sea serpent get to Florida in the first place? The only thing that makes sense is that someone tried to raise one of these Amazonian monsters at home, then didn't have room for it, and dumped it in a river somewhere. The dangerous part is if the Arapima somehow meets another, and they start breeding, before anyone knows what's happening, Florida rivers are just as dangerous as those in the Amazon. Number 2. The Rio Apapori's caiman. Deep in the jungles of Colombia is a part of the Amazon controlled by a violent rebel group. A caiman, once thought to be extinct for over 40 years, was recently discovered by wildlife biologist Forrest Galante. It's called the Rio Apapori's caiman, and one hasn't been seen since the 1980s. This caiman has a unique snout and weirdly yellow skin, making it significantly different from any other crocodilian on this planet. Catching the caiman was no easy feat. Galante had to go deep into parts of the jungle controlled by drug lords and lawlessness, rife with guerrilla warfare. But oddly enough, it was actually the volatility of the region that kept the caiman and other exotic species safe, since people don't really go into the area. Galante and his team were the first foreigners to go into the jungle there in over 30 years. They caught not just one, but several Rio Apapori's caimans, proving that they still thrive in this exceptionally secluded part of the Amazon. And this is good news, seeing as they have a unique evolutionary lineage going back 7 million years. Hopefully they make a comeback and spread into more parts of the jungle. Number 1. Colombian Stingray. One of the biggest and most fierce stingrays in the world can be found in the Amazon. It's a freshwater stingray that lives on the bottom of the rivers deep in the jungle, known as a discus ray. There was a shocking story a few years ago that one of these stingrays grew to be so huge that it killed a local woman and took off with her body. To investigate the claims, Jeremy Wade from River Monsters went into the jungle to check it out. What he caught was a discus ray so big and so heavy that it very easily could have killed a person. Jeremy actually needed to use the same rod that he'd used before to catch the huge Arapima. The stingray did not give up without a fight, and when Jeremy finally caught it, the slippery ray turned out to be an extremely massive creature, though it never was confirmed if the stingray ever dragged that woman out into the river. At over 5 feet or 1.5 meters in width and 240 pounds or 110 kilograms in weight, it certainly could have. The ray's barb could have gotten stuck in the woman's flesh, and when it swam upriver, it could have accidentally taken her with it. Thanks for watching. Which one of these creatures is the most strange or scary to you? Would you dare go fishing in the Amazon? Let me know in the comments, and be sure to hit subscribe if you haven't already to get all the best videos from the channel. See you next time. Bye-bye.